The skies over Nagaroth are stained crimson, for the dark gods are pleased. Torox, the doom bull of living brass, has brought glorious destruction in their name. But the blood beast craves more. The lords of ruin appear to their servant in a vision, promising far greater rewards for a far darker fate. Torox must carve a bloody path to the heart of the dark, where stands the most malign of all herdstones. There, in a ritual most foul, an age of eternal slaughter shall be unleashed upon this mortal world. For untold millennia, the Lizardmen have stood against the forces of chaos. Few have slain so many demons as Oxyotl, their most deadly assassin. A celestial sign warns of a fate darker than ever before. The first ones look once more to their peerless champion. From the shadows, Oxyotl heeds the call. He has witnessed firsthand the true nature, the true horror of chaos unbound. He must strike fast before all is lost. Let the hunt begin. The brass bull and the silent slayer race towards the heart of the dark. There, the fate of every living soul will be decided.
Hello, Monster Man here, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2 Vortex Campaign, and the first part of my brand new playthrough as Oxyotl, the Doom Guy, Hitman, Predator, crossover skink who spent 7,000 years in the Chaos Realms, killing his way through any demon that was sent to try and find him. Eventually he popped back out into the Warhammer world and has since been foiling the plans of Chaos wherever he can find them. Now, Oxyotl has two new mechanics that he starts with. He starts with the visions of the old ones. Now, this is kind of like a mission system, so you will see missions pop up on the map. Oxyotl can teleport. Only Oxyotl and his army can teleport to go and deal with them. Obviously, you can deal with them with irregular armies, but the regular armies are limited in their movement, whereas Oxyotl can instantaneously teleport to any place he is needed. He only can teleport once per turn, but it's pretty much instantaneous, so that's quite useful. And each mission has a set number of turns it needs to be completed in. You might have 3 or 4 at the same time. You will have rewards for succeeding and consequences for your failures. And we currently have a mission to defeat Crag. You have tracked the Crag Warmbloods for some time, having envisioned their destiny to commit the vilest of atrocities in an affront to the Great Plan. By swearing their unholy allegiance to the Dark Gods, they have signed their own death warrants. Finish the task at hand and deal the final blow. Got 20 turns to complete that. The other mechanic he has is the Silent Sanctums. These are basically undercity buildings. They will give you 3 building slots that you can construct various different types of buildings in there, things that will help you in the local region. Basically, you can construct more of these, and you can use them as sort of like way stops for Oxyotl. You need 8 Sanctum gems to create a new Sanctum. We currently have 0, but obviously our first mission will give us 8, which will allow us to create another Sanctum. You can then pop those anywhere, and they can then be used to help Oxyotl when he's far from home. Oxyotl also has several new units, or rather he brings several new units to the Lizardmen roster. He starts off with a unit of Chameleon Stalkers. So these guys are chameleon skinks who are sort of melee specialists. They do come with a precursor missile weapon, which is sort of like an explosive blow dart type thing, which actually does a lot of damage if you can get it off. It's very, very potent. He also has the Oracle of the Sacred Plaques. This is a caster character who starts on a Troglodon. The Troglodon is a large monster with a spit attack, which does a lot of damage to other monsters. So really, really quite powerful. He is a caster as well. Has various different sort of low-level spells, but fairly useful all in all. He does also have a use of Comet of Cassandora, but it does cause damage to him because he's being used as like a conduit for a Slam Mage Priest to drop a comet on someone's head. Fair enough. We're going to take him and we're going to pop him in this army. He increases mobility, which is very nice. Oxyotl, his faction effects are he reduces upkeep by 25% for all skink units. He also increases melee attack, melee defense, and leadership by an additional +1 for each rank, and speed and missile damage is also increased by 1% for each experience rank you gain. Very, very powerful. He has the hunt. He that hunts unseen, there we go, which means he's immune to diplomatic penalties from trespassing. He has access to masterful ambush stance, requiring less movement range to adopt with a reduced detection chance. He increases armor-piercing missile damage for all skink infantry units, and experience gain is increased when fighting against Beastmen, Chaos, and Norska. He also starts off with 2 special sort of banners, a Fireblood Toxin, which causes flaming attacks and sunders armor, and Discourage, a Toadskin Essence, which causes Discourage. He also has several additional ones, so he has enemies, weapons, and poison of the warp, which you'll also gain. His skills basically do things like gain Sanctum Gems, Research Rate, Foil Chaos, less leadership for Chaos in the local region, Snipe for Chameleon Stinks, so bonus to there for Chameleon Skinks, upkeep reduction for Skinks and Troglodons and Coatls, and unlocks recruitment of the Skink Oracle, missile resistance for those units as well. More casual replenishment rate in foreign territory, as well as missile damage and melee attack, and then of course more campaign movement range, ammunition, and vigor loss reduction for all skinks, and also perfect vigor. Although the fact is, because he can teleport all over the place, he will almost certainly get campaigner, which gives you perfect vigor anyway, so there we go. I'm going to start off now, because obviously Oxyotl is the 007 of the Lizardman world. I'm going to name my characters after special agents and their actors. So we're going to have Timothy Dalton on his Troglodon. Perfect. And we're going to start off by taking on the horrible Norscan humans. Obviously, our eventual goal is to foil Torok in his plan to reach the Heart of Darkness and to bring an age of slaughter and killing on the Warhammer world. Oh, can you imagine if the Warhammer world was a place of slaughter and endless... Anyway, the point is we will start off by killing Baelgar Wallbreaker down here. I'm going to put the Fireblood Toxin and the Toadskin Essence on the Chameleon Skinks. That just makes sense to me. It says a decisive victory, but we would lose a unit of Saurus Warriors if we auto-resolved it. So obviously we're going to fight it because it's the first battle of a campaign. It has that new campaign battle smell. Obviously, we're going to start harassing the enemy flank with our Chameleon Skinks, and Oxyotl is already doing a lot of damage. He's killed 13 so far with 2 shots, so, you know, pretty good. Yep, that's doing a lot of damage. That killed a lot of Norskans. Good job. Nice work. Meanwhile, Timothy is chucking fireballs at the enemy Mammoth, because why not? Troglodon has this nasty spit ability that does a lot of damage. You can see 889 damage, plus bonus versus large. I mean, it does a lot of damage generally, and will literally turn people into jam, little jammy chunks. Meanwhile, Chameleon Skinks doing fantastic harassment on the flank here, just really laying it into these... And the Marauders are chasing after them, but they ain't going to catch him. Oxyotl has a toggleable ability, which allows him to be a Master Predator, which increases his range, but reduces his speed and charge bonus, but effectively makes him unspottable. Like, they literally have to be on top of him to see him. Chameleon Stalkers, using their nasty little precursor weapon, have already dealt pretty much half a unit. They've killed half the unit in one volley, and they're now hunting down... Oh, they're now hunting down the remainders with their very fast movement speed. The Troglodon is engaging the Mammoth. I mean, probably not the best option, but they're pretty well suited to each other. So that's good. We've got our Skink Javelins moving up with 4 shots. They should do fairly well. And so, I mean, they can't catch us, and we're just shooting them in the back. This is the kind of army that I would hate fighting, because chasing after Chameleon Skinks is... Oh, it's just a nightmare. I mean, you kind of just have to wait for them to run out of ammunition, but they've got a lot of ammunition, so you just have... What do you do? What do you do? The Chameleon Skinks have finally caught up with the Javelins and are making a mess of them. Their melee stats are actually pretty good, with 22 melee attack, 36 melee defense, and 25 weapon strength. They will do very well against these Marauder Javelins. Especially backed up with the Chameleon Skinks, who are now laying into the flank there. Very nice. And I think it's safe to say that this Norscan army has been dealt with. The Norscan Lord is getting a lot of toothpicks to the face. Like a lot of toothpicks. He's going to get in there, but, you know, is he going to regret that? Like, he's going to maybe punch a skink or two in the face. But he's now got a lot of javelins embedded in his head. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. Mammoth has gone out of control. We're dealing with that. Taking a little bit of javelin fire on the Chameleon Skinks there. But, the Chameleon Stalkers. The Chameleon Skinks, again, just any unit that comes back to the fight just gets blow darted. And looks like the Marauder Chieftain is going to decide to run away with the rest of his army. Which, I mean, probably a good idea. But also, he's pretty much the only thing we can shoot at. So, that was sort of successful. Didn't quite go how I wanted it to, but never mind. We will exterminate for the experience, because I feel like getting experience is going to be quite important. And can we reach... Oh, we can reach Shargath. I think we should go for it. Let's just go, you know, straight. It says Valiant Defeat. I think we can do better than that. Let's go Route Marcher for Oxyotl, obviously. Good start. And... oh, I'm tempted to go increase mobility. I think we are. I think we are. We're going to go straight into that second battle. I just don't trust the Auto-Resolve not to, like, kill half my units. I mean, not kill them, but damage them. So we're going to fight the battles to make sure that we can basically blitzkrieg these Norskins before they can recruit a stack, because obviously that would be quite nasty, having to deal with a stack of Norskins as well as the garrison. So what we'll do is we will just keep them on the back foot, keep hitting them, don't let them recruit a stack is basically the plan. So we're harassing the Marauders over on that flank. Meanwhile, we have... is this a couple Marauder Champions? Now, the Marauder Champions are very nasty infantry. They have really good armor, very good melee defense, good weapon strength, and good melee attack. So we are going to have to deal with these guys, and we're going to deal with them by basically chucking everything but the kitchen sink at them. So our Saurus will tank them, and while the Saurus are tanking them, we will just be, you know, blow darts, javelins, whatever. Poison, gob, spit. Jesus Christ! I didn't realise that stuff was so deadly. Good God, it literally just melted them. Holy crap! Anyway, we're flanking around. We've got the javelins on that flank. Yep, all good. We're going to engage the Saurus. That's perfect. Yes, absolutely great. The Chameleon Stalker's going to come in from behind, get that explosive shot off. Wow, those Marauders just went down pretty hard. These, I mean, the Marauder Champions here already running away, and the Javelins now coming into the back of the Spears. Not to mention the massively explosive venomous spit, which is amazing. Timothy Dalton's killed 100 Norskins so far. Holy balls, Timothy, you are absolute lunatic. Absolute lunatic. Meanwhile, these Marauders are desperately trying to chase the Chameleon Skinks around the ice field, and it's not working. Surprise, surprise. We're staying one step ahead of them at all times and shooting them in the back whenever they turn around to try and chase someone else. Yeah. 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 You know, I mean, Auto-Resolve might have been fine, but do you trust it? Because I don't. Also, don't retreat past Skinks with javelins. It's just a bad idea. Well, I thought that was a pretty good start, actually. We've managed to kill an army and take a settlement in one turn. If that's not foiling the plans of Chaos, I don't know what is. Oh, a war drum. What's it do? If engage... So, everyone just moves faster unless we're engaged in melee. Well, I mean, that's pretty much the perfect thing for Oxyotl. Now he's got a little drum he can play on. Make everyone move a little bit faster. Perfect. And we will occupy. Okay, and we have completed a little quest there, which is good. Oxyotl is... I'm tempted to go for Deadeye to make him shoot faster, but I think we should go for Skirmisher. So let's get Inspiring Presence. And then Timothy. Oh, Timothy, I think you're going to get a Fireball. That's right, chuck your balls, great big balls of fire at people. Okay, let's start... I want another Chameleon Skink. I want some more Chameleon Stalkers as well, so we'll do that. And then over here, I think I'm going to start by getting the Skink Foraging Camp, because I feel like growth probably what we want to aim for at this moment in time. We've already got some tech research. We've got enables poison attack for all Skink infantry and ammunition, and missile strength and vanguard deployment. And then we can only get the sequence of purpose, so we'll grab that one. Upkeep reduction for Skinks would be nice. Melee defense, speed, yep, that would be nice. And of course we could always get some Croxagors later, because I do like my big crocky boys, even if they're not actually that good. Okay, very very quick end. I'm never used to the very fast end turns for Vortex. So the reason I'm playing Vortex is because I felt like if we were playing Taurox on Mortal Empires, there's obviously a storyline, and I'd like to see the storyline. So I thought if I play Oxyotl on the Vortex map, then I can see the storyline, but I get to play Taurox on the Mortal Empire map. So that was my thinking. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna get. Should I get 4 Chameleon Skinks? Do that. I'm actually gonna get some red-crested Skinks as well. I mean, I'm probably gonna go pretty hard for the Skinks. I'm always hard for the Skinks, but we're gonna go extra hard for the Skinks this time round. So let's go for Dargoth. Oh, they are recruiting at Nagar. Oh, maybe I should have gone for Nagar. It says decisive victory. I don't trust it. And what do we say to Auto-Resolve? Not today. Not today, not ever, Auto-Resolve, because I don't trust you. Do not trust what you're up to. Do not like. Okay. Chameleon Skinks again on the flank. And Oxy's got his drum, which is going to keep people speedy, which is good. These Marauders don't spot the Chameleon Stalkers until last second. That's a mistake. That was explosive. We also got some Norscan Warhounds on the flank here. Going to take them out. Meanwhile, that spit is... Oof. Dealing some good damage to those trolls even before they arrive. Little fireball coming out there as well. And those trolls are not happy. I mean, I don't blame them, to be honest. We've got spears incoming as well. They are going to be very swiftly dealt with. We've got javelins on the flank. The red-crested Skinks engaging the Marauders. The red-crested Skinks are basically Skinks who are, well, lunatics. They're the kind of Skinks that scream, I'm going to fuck you up, before smacking you in the face with a big hammer. But they look adorable doing it. Chameleon Stalkers chasing after some units that are fleeing, and our Chameleon Skinks now mopping up that flank. Any unit sent against them is now being destroyed. There's more horsemen still around, but they're now in range of the javelins, which is a mistake on their part. Oopsie, never mind. More javelins here. A few of our red-crested Skinks are getting javelins in the head, but that's okay. I mean, not for them, obviously, but... Oh, the trolls are back. Momentarily, anyway. Not for very long, though. Who needs Saurus warriors? They're just big brain-dead brutes. Not sexy little skinks. Sexy, slinky Skinks. We'll occupy that one. Got a Rite of Ferocity, which is going to... What's this one do? So, unit experience gain per turn. Recruit route. I mean, that's not bad, is it? That's pretty good. Could do that one. We also get the Rite of Sotek, which attrition, ambush success chance, weapon strength, missile strength, all that kind of good stuff for all of our skinky boys. Oh, yeah, we're going to half of the Skinks. So very hard. Let's get... I feel like maybe Wind Blast could be a nice option. I mean, Earthblood's okay. But I feel like Wind Blast might be key. So we will grab that one. And we're going to get... Yeah, I want to get another one of those. And we probably want maybe a couple more of them. That gives us 90. I'm tempted to get rid of the Saurus. How much is the Saurus costing us? 180 compared to cheap skinks. I mean, you know. Should we get more skink? Yeah, more growth. Let's go more growth, and we're going to have to deal with you. You will recruit units, and I will have to deal with that army. And the garrison on top of that. Okay, you've recruited a few units, but that's okay, because we've got more. More sexy, slinky skinks. Get in there, my boys. Pyrrhic victory? Good grief. Brutal. Oof. Be alright. Now, the one problem we might have is puppies. Puppies, of course, are very fast moving. They can easily catch up with the chameleon skinks. I'm going to send Oxyotl in to tank them, but they just kind of ignore him and charge straight after the chameleon skinks. Fortunately, there's so much fire coming in here, and they're also discouraged, which means they break long before they actually reach us and are harried off with a few successive shots. Meanwhile, the rest of our forces taking up position up on the hill, and Timothy Dalton is an absolute beast. I mean, literally, it's that shot is devastating. Put that right in the middle of an infantry unit, and oof. Chameleon skinks moving up the flank. While Saurus are moving to engage any unit on the flank. They can. Meanwhile, javelins being rained down from the top of that hill. Little wind blast there is going to knock more units on their arse. Timothy Dalton is melting faces with his spit. Someone should really add that to his Wikipedia page. Can melt Norskans with corrosive spit. Can really hock one up. Oh, just really corrosive. Red Crested Skinks getting stuck in. Oh, nasty explosive fire there from the Chameleon Stalkers, rampaging into the back of the Marauder line there. Marauder are having a terrible time. They probably looked at this army and went, well, it's just a bunch of adorable little lizard boys. This will be no problem. We can sacrifice them to the Chaos Gods. 30 seconds later. No. No, no, no. Very deceptive. Very, very deceptive. Stupid, sexy skinks. Well, look at that. Occupy, yes. So 4 turns, and we have completed our first mission. Destroy the crag. We have Sanctum Gems, Trance of Visions. Oh, yes, that's good. And then 5 big ones. So, we can now construct a new Sanctum. So if I click on the Unlock Sanctum, you can see we can pop one in any region that we have discovered. Now, we're not going to do that just yet. Not just yet, anyway. First, let's go skill points. Obviously, we're going to go Skirmisher. Got the first part of the quest for the Golden Blow type. Golden Blow pipe of Patui. Yes, yes, it's Patui. It is indeed. Shall we go? I'm gonna go for more Wind Blast, I think. Yeah. Let's go Wind Blast. We've got Commandment available. Obviously, we're going to go with Growth. So let's go with that one. So that's 20 Growth, Public Order, and Income from all buildings, which is, you know, just generally pretty good. We'll take that. And I think we want to start building this up, but we currently have no visions of the old ones. But if I end the turn, we should end up with a couple to play around with. I usually get two or three once I've completed this first one. Okay, we need to one battle against the following race. Norska, Oxyotl's torturous past, spent in the Chaos realm, left him both scarred and gifted in ways that his kin will never comprehend. Many claim his survival could only have been made possible by powers endowed to him by the Old Ones themselves, most notably his uncanny ability to anticipate the closeness of the Dark God's minions, despite their efforts to obscure themselves. The Norscan tribes, however, make no secret of their existence and the worship of the ruinous powers, branding themselves with dread marks and shouting the names of the Dark Gods as they charge fanatically into battle. Oxyotl senses a growing taint of chaos in the maniacal Northmen, far greater than the sickness they typically exude. Perhaps it might be a side effect of fluctuation to the Great Vortex, or maybe something else entirely. In any case, it is a threat he knows must be assessed. To do so, Oxyotl must face the Norskans head-on, sooner rather than later. And we've completed a mission to do a vision. Good. Okay, so we now have 3 quests available to us. We have Destroy a Norscan settlement. Apparently that one's going to be easy. So we get 2 Blessed Horned ones and Untainted All Regions for 5 turns. Alternatively, we'll get -7 Public Order. We have Defeat the Following Lord. Lost Ericsson of the Cull, Skeggy. It's going to give us 3 Sanctum Gens and 1,000 monies. But we will get +5... Oh, the target army gains permanent bonuses. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. And then Cull the Corrupt Clan Moors will get Sanctum Gens, 50 experience per turn, and that army will get 15% weapon strength for good, basically. I don't know if that's just linked to the general or what. That's quite nasty. Now, as soon as we have a quest to kill Norskans, shall we do this one over here? It's currently uninhabited, which means it should be a fairly easy one to do. It will mean we'll be at war with the Agol, but to be honest, that's just a matter of time. Alternatively, we could, like, hunt one... I mean, we could deal with this, couldn't we? So, can we see... There he is. So he's currently got 15 units in his army, and we know Queek's probably in Uatek. Shall we see if we can knock out Lost Ericsson early on? Let's go do that. So here we are. And there is Lost Ericsson with a horde of marauders. And we are going to put him out of our misery. Also, this should help, obviously, Coatls, because the Skeggy often causes a big problem for Coatls. So we take them out now. That's obviously going to make life a little bit easier for them. It says Pyrrhic victory, but... Of course, we're going to continue to harass the flanks with Chameleon Skinks. The rest of our army is up on the top of that hill. Going to pull off as many units. That's right. We're going to pull these Norskans off. They're going to be so pulled off. Holy shit! We're sending the Chameleon Stalkers around the flank, hoping to try and get around behind the army without being spotted. So Norskans advance. They've got some marauders with great weapons there. Marauders, marauders, marauders. There's Lost Ericsson, so he popped up to attack Lost Ericsson. Which I really like, because there's a lot of characters in the Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000 world where it's just like, oh, they turn up when most needed, and you can't really do that in Total War until now. Timothy Dalton's an absolute monster, holy shit, and yeah, these Norskans are not having a good time over there. Charging in, backed up with a hail of javelin fire, and those Stalkers now advancing. Little wind blast. It's going to help out. And here come the Stalkers. Oh, devastating little volley there as they then charge in. And the stats are looking pretty beefy now. And it looks like that volley to the rear was enough to cause a mass rout of the Norskans on our left flank. And that's now starting to spread down the entire army. Just the right flank where the Stalkers didn't get into the mix. And they are being... Well, the Marauders are being tanked by the Saurus, which, you know, they're doing okay, I guess. They're doing alright. But they're not red-crested skinks, who are now flanking around to get a little rear charge. Well, that's one little threat dealt with. The plans of Lost Ericsson have been scuppered. I'm going to take the replenishment because what I would like to do... Oh, upon defeating the Norscan warband, Oxyotl felt the powerful traces of chaos infecting them start to subside. To his dismay, he has learnt the chaos saturated artifact that has recently been passed on to another Norscan tribe, and no doubt the source of the heightened chaos taint he had detected. The relic originated from a group of Dark Elf slave traders in Grond, one of the northernmost cities of Nogrond, and a place of fell magic in close proximity to the Chaos Wastes. Oxyotl must decide whether to pursue the chaos source now or destroy the Dark Elf traders infected by the taint first, before they involve themselves in further dealings and infect others. So, this will either give you a second, sort of like a further quest option to go and defeat some Dark Elves, or alternatively just to go for the quest battle. I'm going to pursue the source. Let's do that. So we need to win... No, it's done that. Need to win one battle against the Dark Elves? Yes. Oxyotl realizes before he goes after those currently in possession of the Chaos Artifact, the ones complicit in its supply must be stopped. Ascertaining that Dark Elf slave traders have envoys within most Naggarothai hosts, he deduces that defeating them and assassinating the embedded trader would send a very clear message that handling of Chaos-tainted goods is not a business venture that they, or anyone, should be indulging in. The punishment shall be death. Okay, well, seeing as we're here, it might be a good idea to maybe mop up some of these settlements and just make life a little bit easier for Coatls. I'll obviously get Masnamundi on side, and seeing as he's a fellow lizard boy, seems only sensible. I'm going to get Demon Bane, because that is something I don't know, I just want it. So we'll get that. That'll give us another... So the ground crystal Zinch's realm can be imbued darts with the power to pierce any ward and find the weakest... Ooh. Oh, okay. So that is another banner and can be put on a skink blowpipe or javelin unit, which is exciting. All right, next time we'll be mopping up some more of Skeggy, and then, I mean, well, do we have the time, or should we? We've got 9 and 10 turns. We need to deal with Queek and also destroy that Norscan settlement, but that is going to have to wait until next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.